Hello everyone,
Hello.
Drip here.
Hello, Drip. I am Ray.
People tend to think that Dragon Ball fans depend on guidebook statements to get Goku to insane levels. To some extent, it is true, but how strong would Goku be with no guidebook statements? Just purely anime and manga. I'm about to end Saitama fans' whole career. The
Damn, he calling y'all out directly.
very first scaling meta we get for Dragon Ball that's impressive is Frieza being able to tank the Universal Spirit Bomb, which was stated to have gathered energy from the entire universe multiple times. Coupled with the fact that Frieza was stated multiple times to be capable of destroying the entire universe, and we know that he isn't simply capable of destroying the matter, but actually the space-time, as well as seeing that people far weaker than Frieza had the power to affect space-time. We know that it's stated there's a countless amount of galaxies, and if we go by Dragon Ball GT, it's stated that there's a boundless amount of galaxies. Usually one statement is deemed as hyperbolic, but when you have multiple materials pointing towards the same thing, it becomes your burden to prove that it is hyperbolic in the first place. Countless doesn't literally mean infinite, but when put together with boundless, we can see that the intentions here are to have an infinite amount of galaxies. So we know Frieza can destroy a universal spacetime with an infinite amount of three-dimensional galaxies, and by definition, this universal spacetime would have to be infinite to contain them. I don't want to hear anything about GT being non-canon, because if you think it isn't canon, then you can just watch this video. Even if it's an alternate timeline, it's still explaining how things work cosmologically in Dragon Ball. However, if you decide to not use it and we have only one statement saying there's countless galaxies, then you can argue it's hyperbolic, but it still wouldn't matter, as Frieza would still be Universal Plus for being able to affect space-time with his ki. And Frieza requiring this level of power to destroy the universe would also make the universe arguably infinite in size, being supported by the countless galaxy statement. Goku scaling above this version of Frieza would make him Uni Plus, but there's more beyond this.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those videos, I see. Alright, so jumping right into this, ignoring the obvious hyperbolic Frieza is universal statements for the time being, of course, my first piece of contention would be the fact that you offer evidence of Goku saying that Frieza would be a threat to the universe or would wreck it or whatever you want to call it, right? Back when he was making the Spirit Bomb. Okay, that's cool, but you also give evidence of second form Frieza also supposedly being universal, which I find to be a contradiction within the timeline of your presented, list of evidence. So like, if final form Frieza is universal, but one of his weaker forms is also universal, then doesn't that seem a little backwards? Wouldn't the final form for Frieza be far, far higher in power compared to one of his lower forms that's only universal? That seems pretty backwards to me. But not only is it backwards, we also have to factor in the fact that this logic is just inherently broken. Like I said, it's a hyperbolic statement to begin with, but because this logic is inherently broken, we also have to apply this scaling to many, many other characters. Well, maybe not many, but my personal favorite, that being Piccolo, of course, the dude who ran hands with quite literally all forms of Frieza. The dude who knows how strong Frieza is in all of his forms, took multiple attacks from Frieza and kept getting up for more despite his stronger and stronger form, despite quote unquote his last form being universal and his second form also being universal. So like Piccolo has to also just be universal to some very high degree. And because this video is about Goku, I really don't think that you're going to agree to this line of reasoning. But if you do, and if you can look me dead in the eye and say that you agree that Piccolo with this broken logic is also universal, then you know what, we can just render this entire video null and void, and I'll just say that everything else in this video from here on out, I 100% agree with you. But if not, then this is unfortunately just, like I said, hyperbolic statements, or as I like to say, statement fallacy 2, electric boogaloo. Now with more chapter titles, or well, not exactly a chapter title, but an episode title, which is basically just the same thing. It's the chapter title, but in anime form. And honestly, this is not a good look in the book of trying to ruin Saitama fan careers, because Saitama fans quite literally do the same damn thing. Only I would say they probably do it slightly better, because when they do it, their image, their chapter image or title or whatever at least comes with a feat. Like, at least Saitama was bench pressing a black hole, that's something visual that we can calculate and whatnot. All we have for Frieza is just, again, statements and timeline contradictions, and I would say that alone just dismisses this entire argument. And again, unless this Piccolo argument / scaling is agreed to, that's also another dismissal of this initial argument. So strikes 1, 2, and 3 all from the get-go. Gosh damn. But before I go too far off, let us continue.
Moving on to the Android saga, we see that it's stated multiple times that Goku going Super Saiyan is like a completely different dimension of power.
Wait a minute. Did y'all catch what he just said? Don't worry, I'll play the clip back for you. Rewind!
Saiyan is like a completely different dimension of power. Saiyan is like a completely different dimension of power. Saiyan is like a completely different dimension of power.
Is a simile, fam. A simile being comparing two things using the terms sometimes like or as, which he did in his own words. So he's just using a simile, which, if you think I'm capping and playing semantics, trying to use, your own words against you, I mean, the evidence you show quite literally has Tien stating it's as if he's in a different dimension. So you are indeed correct to be using a simile here. Similes, again, just being figures of speech, comparing things, but really usually aren't exactly directly related. Saying, as if he's in a different dimension, not that he actually is, because what the hell does Tien know about being in a different dimension? Same way we don't use Aizen proclaiming Ichigo is in a different dimension from him, despite the fact that Aizen quite literally mentions fictional transcendence in talking about how Ichigo would view Aizen or his power as complete fiction compared to each other. So I would frankly say the Aizen statement is far more credible just for how blatant it is. But again, it's just a flowery statement. It's not really worth taking into consideration like these examples. Not only that, but why are we really even trying to argue this? Because again, this broken logic, Android 19 puts the beating on Goku. Sure, he was nerfed, but still, he got beat up. And not only that, but his energy was also absorbed, empowering Android 19, only for Vegeta to come in and completely sit Android 19's fat ass down and make a robot feel fear, which one of my favorite moments in the show. I love it. I swear, I love how cocky and arrogant Vegeta is. But back to the logical or illogical, lack thereof, because we're doing devoid of knowledge power scaling. Android 19 by this logic is also universal. Vegeta Super Saiyan is universal. Everyone is higher dimensional now. Again, you see how broken this logic is and how overall this really makes no sense, because one thing you apply to one character, it has to apply to everyone else. And again, I really don't think you would agree that everyone else also applies to this. And if you do, then, well, like I said, if you already agreed to the Piccolo scaling, we're good. We're good. But if not, then we have issues, okay? And one of those issues being, I don't think you can really scale that well. Again, because this logic, it's just really broken. And again, I know we're trying to focus on Goku and all of that, and I get it, kind of, sort of, but this broken logic, other characters, I'm just no, that's not how this works. But I'm pretty sure it's only going to get worse from here if we're following this broken line of logic. But let us continue.
from everyone else. This also ties deeper into the fact that Cell is stated to have an infinite power level, and him having an infinite and bottomless power multiple times.
What the fuck?
What the fuck's wrong with you, my nigga? Like, are you fucking high?
What the hell was that?
Okay, here we go. Now I gotta put down my foot for real this time. I was playing around in the beginning, letting you get your take out, get your logic out there, getting a feel for how this is gonna go, and now I know how this is gonna go, and I can't take anymore. I really can't take anymore. I'm sorry. Like, we gotta stop right here. We gotta pump the brakes, call timeout, call flag, call the foul. First and foremost, we are back once again with more hyperbolic and flowery statements. Not only that, but we are also back with episode titles, chapter titles. Yay! As I said before, Statement Fallacy 2, Electric Boogaloo, but now back with the Cha-Cha Slide. Oh boy, we are definitely ruining a lot of Saitama fan careers right now. Like, really. And like, Battle Power Infinite, come on now. Come on now. Are we really going to try to say that Cell is universal when you and I both know, I am pretty sure you know the statement, like all Dragon Ball fans, we know the statement that took Dragon Ball characters to a new level of power and scaling, this statement that was contested and contended for like years and years on end, and it was like, only now really do we really even accept the statement without really batting an eye anymore. So I really can't let you get away with trying to say that Cell is universal when we all know the statement. And like, I'm pretty sure you're gonna make me say the statement is, right? You're really gonna make me have to pull up what the statement is. You're really going to make me end your whole career before this video even gets close to finishing. Well, I'm sorry, not sorry, but I just had to do it to you. But first of all, Cell, in his final form, after regenerating and coming back stronger in his super perfect cell, expressly states he has enough chi to destroy the solar system. Now, does that sound universal to you? I sure hope it doesn't, because if it does, then we have some fucking reading comprehension issues going on here. Like, holy cow, this is absurd, illogical scaling to the highest of degrees. When, like I said, I am sure you know the statement, but we're trying to scale Goku and link him to the highest of heavens right now. And so you're just literally ignoring the statement. That's exactly what you're doing. You're ignoring. You are straight up fucking lying by ignoring this statement and not addressing it. But I'm going to address it for you, and I'm going to call you out, and I'm going to make you address it if you do respond to this video, or if not, whatever. I just need someone from your audience to see this and realize that they are sheeple and that they need to wake the heck up. They are being fed misinformation, and you are honestly like arguing in bad faith or just being disingenuous by trying your absolute damnedest to ignore this statement, which again, every Dragon Ball fan knows. This was a statement, mind you, that was made after his quote unquote infinite battle power, and even with that infinite battle power, everyone was still running hands with him. Vegeta still took a slice out of him. Goku took a slice out of him, and Gohan freaking obliterated him. Infinite battle power, huh? Universal, huh? Bro's only solar system. What are we talking about?
Cell's battle power being infinite is insane because even without using guidebook statements, we know that by the anime, Frieza's power level was over 1 million in his second form, with his later forms being only finitely stronger than this. Frieza was Uni Plus with finite power levels, so Cell having an infinite power compared to Frieza would make him 5D casually.
No, the hell it would not. told myself I wasn't gonna smoke today, but that's that good shit right there. Now, where was I? Oh yeah. No, the hell it does not. And to show why the hell it does not, I've decided to use my power copying technique to steal the ability of Why Give Up 11 in AI answering. That is right, I have went to the robots and have used their ways to formulate an argument or ask them what do they think of this claim. And well, even the robots agree that this is a massive leap in logic with a gross misunderstanding of the Dragon Ball lore and mathematics and dimensional scaling in general when it comes to power scaling. So not only like you don't even have to take my word for it that you can't scale or that this is complete nonsense, but even the robots can recognize that this is complete and utter dog shit. Now, switching back to me and my version of why I think this argumentation is stupid, let's just pretend, right, and say that we do accept that Frieza was universal and that he can destroy the infinite universe and he's 4D. All right, cool. Cell having infinite power or an infinite power level over Frieza doesn't automatically put him in a higher plane of existence or power. It just means he's stronger than freaking Frieza and at best has the capacity to destroy the universe an infinite amount of times over. But that's of course if we're closing our eyes and using only our ears and accepting that Frieza is indeed universal when in fact we know that he is not, and we also know that Cell is not, because again Cell has straight up said that he is only solar system at his strongest. This is also something that even the AI picked up on. So it's really incredible of how hard we are trying to ignore this statement, but like Broly chasing Luffy, this statement is coming for you, pal.
Moving on to the Buu saga, we get the statement that Buhan is fundamentally infinitely stronger than he was before and on a completely different plane of existence in terms of power. This would make him 6D in terms of power bare minimum.
Hold on. Wait a minute. First of all, that's freaking Buu Tanks, not Buhan. We're already off to a rocky start, but I'm gonna give the benefit of a doubt, even though I really shouldn't, just going off your previous statements and all that we've heard so far. I'm gonna give it anyways because I'm nice like that. But once more, that doesn't make Buu 6D at all. First of all, we're kind of subtly implying that everyone is just 5D now, because in order for Buu to be 6D, his previous transformation or form had to have been 5D, so everyone's just 5D now, I guess. Whoop-de-doo. But as said before, he's just infinitely more powerful than Cell. He just has a larger pool of power to pull from. This does not at all prove he can affect any form of a higher dimension, because a higher dimension, like a true sixth dimension, would view the fifth dimension as a fictional object, and the fifth dimensional object would view the fourth dimensional universe also as fiction, like a comic book or something like that. But they might be just like, oh well, I'm just talking about power, bro. Like they're still 3D physically. Then everyone is 5D on a power level, I guess. But again, that's also debunked / contradicted by the fact that Cell again just says he's solar system. And again, even if we are going on the line of the universal scaling, which I think I'm just kind of repeating myself now, but it warrants being repeated. It just means he's stronger than Cell. That's literally it. It doesn't give them access to any other kind of higher scaling. And this all also ties back into like the very beginning where he tried to claim that Frieza can destroy the space and time of the universe, which is absolute cap and wank and has no evidence or backing from. In fact, like I said in the beginning, he's just trying to take evidence from other characters to apply it to Frieza. And basically just lots of chain scaling and stupid nonsense. Like this, oh my gosh, my head. Oh, I need a headache. I need ibuprofen.
Minimum. The reason I say bare minimum is because it can get even more crazy than this. With even people such as Super Saiyan 3 Goku being finitely weaker than Buhan and his power being felt all the way out in the sacred world of the Kais, which we know by the manga is a completely separate realm from the universe, implying that it requires at least a 6-dimensional level of power to reach the Kaioshin realm, as the Kais thought it was impossible to do. We also know that heaven is as big as the arguably infinite-sized universe based on anime statements, and heaven is depicted as a small object compared to the otherworld. This also ties into the fact the otherworld was stated to have no time compared to the living world, and stated to be non-physical, stated that the living world is a lower realm compared to it, and even Goku Black, who came from beyond otherworld, aka the Kaioshin realm, states that he looks down on existence from a much higher perspective. We know that lower realm doesn't necessarily mean place below, as in context to universal axioms in space in general, there is no up or down or any sense of directionality. If it takes a 6-dimensional power to go beyond otherworld, we can assume that it takes a 5th-dimensional power to reach otherworld bare minimum. Coupled with the fact that it's a higher realm with no time compared to the living world and contains something as big as a universe within it, we can assert that otherworld is at least 5D. But this is...
I hate to tell you this, but not really. But otherworld does, in fact, have time. And not only does it have time, it has space. Sure, it can be infinite like the living universe since, they're parallel sizes, at least looking at the map, eyeballing it. But other than that, it has time and space. Like, these Goku statements don't mean shit when Goku in his physical body can go to this otherworld place, train there, and, genuinely just exist as if it's a 3-dimensional place like the regular universe, despite the fact that this is supposed to be the afterlife and it's supposed to not have any time or space. That simply wouldn't be possible for a physical 3D being like Goku. Not only that, but Kid Buu, again, with a physical body, is able to just go up there with his 3D body and, hit people and interact with things there that are supposedly not to have physical time or physical space, because his claim is it's a non-physical realm, right? We're just straight up lying to, so... But anyways, Kid Buu is able to go there with his physical body, and again, you're just trying to say his power is a higher dimension. So if his power is a higher dimension but not his body, then what is he just wrapping the key around his body so he can let him move there or whatever? That's so stupid. And again, not only that, but even Gohan in his physical body goes there. And again, Gohan is just a 3D being who is bound by time like everyone else. So again, this is all just completely debunked by your own damn show. So this whole idea that there's no time in Otherworld is just completely stupid when we're shown over and over again that 3D bodies are able to move there. And not only that, but it is straight up stated that it takes Goku 6 months to travel Snake Way. It was stated it took Enma time to travel Snake Way. And then it is also again stated it would take Goku 2 days to travel back across Snake Way. And this was also them moving in time relation to the Saiyans traveling to Earth. So there is very clearly time in the other world. And I really, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Actually still a low ball. We know that technically Outerversal can still be called infinitely stronger than 5D. So Buhan's statement
Alright. Alrighty, I'm gonna have to stop you right here, Mr. Drip. You've taken a step too far, and because of that, your video reviewing your time, your existence here, your rest of your time has been skipped. Yeah, that's what it is. I've time skipped you and the rest of your shit because it's just shit. The moment you say Outerversal for anything Dragon Ball, that's the moment I gotta call bull. And honestly, talking about Outerversal Dragon Ball anything, that warrants its own yap video all of itself because that's just a lot to get into, and that would make this video even longer than it already is. And trust me, I can go there. I personally like to yap, but I think I've poked enough holes in this video to hopefully show anyone else that happens to come across it that you really shouldn't take anything this video says literally. At bare minimum, everything needs to be taken with a grain of salt, and at worst, it's quite literally contradicted just by reading the manga or watching the anime itself. But I'm Ray, reacting to drip sauce and having a very terrible time of it. I really think I need another smoke, to be honest. 1 second. Hey y'all, Future Ray here, and I realized that there was a point in the video that I had talked about as if I did address, and I come to realize that I didn't address it at all. So I'm here to address it now. What am I talking about? Drip's claim that, what is it? Oh yeah, Frieza can destroy the space-time of the entire universe. Again, going off of the broken logic that Frieza is universal in the first place. His claim that Frieza is able to destroy the space and time of the universe is, well, I'll just play the clip for itself and let you see.
Universe, and we know that he isn't simply capable of destroying the matter, but actually the space-time, as well as seeing that people far weaker than Frieza had the power to affect space-time.
So yeah, apparently Frieza can destroy space-time because he's stronger than Gildo and Raykum. I really don't think I need to explain why this is a very stupid take, and with this take alone, I am officially putting Mr. Drip here. You are going to the round table of can't cook right here with Mr. Why Give Up 11. I am saying that just from this video alone, you've burnt down the kitchen. So I'm putting y'all both at the round tables of the burning kitchen. You can both be in it together. I'll hopefully be able to work something out where I can fit you both in because you guys were made for each other. We found our can't cook for One Punch Man and can't cook for Dragon Ball. But basically, overall, he's trying to basically say that, because Goku is stronger than Frieza, who's stronger than these guys who can warp space, and the other one who has a specific technique that can stop time and is specifically stated that's his special trait and ability, then obviously Goku can do the same because he's stronger than this universal Frieza, which again is complete, wank and nonsense. But like I said, unless a character has specifically been shown doing these feats, then there is in no way, shape, or form we should be trying to say that they could do it just because they're stronger. The only one that I might agree to is Raykum warping space, because all that is just a mouth beam, and anyone can do it if they really wanted to. That's the only one. But Gildo and controlling time, absolutely not. No one has been shown controlling or affecting time in any way, shape, or form outside of Gildo and later on Hit. Birder, Jace, Raykum, Ginyu, all stronger than Gildo. All know he can affect and stop time. None of them can do it. Even though, like I said, they're all stronger. So why in the world would Frieza be able to do it when they can't? And again, they're stronger than Gildo. There's no reason to. It's complete wank. That's all it is. But anyways, I just wanted to get this point addressed and put that out there as another example for why this entire argument is inherently stupid from the get-go. But again, Drip fans, Dragon Ball fans, what can I say? But yeah, see ya.